I got some more DVDs, so, you know, let's take a look at that. These first 3 were given to me by David from Evil Speak NL. We recently did a video together over at his channel, so be sure to check it out if you haven't already. There's a link in the description. So, let's see what he got me. Well, this is pretty cool. Rosemary's Killer, also known as The Prowler. Well, I believe that's the original title. It's an early 80s slasher flick, and while I haven't seen it since forever, I remember it being one of the better entries in the whole slasher genre. So, pretty cool stuff. And what's this? Pledge Night? What the hell's going on with this DVD cover? It's falling apart. Thanks, David. I believe it's a slasher flick. Well, it looks great. Now, I'll check it out one day. And finally, from David, Brad Pitt. Cutting Class. But probably best remembered for it being one of Brad Pitt's first major roles. I believe it's a horror comedy slasher type of deal. It kinda sounds okay though. Could be fun, right? Right? So, these next 4 movies I got in France. The Pit and the Pendulum, or should I say La Chambre des Tortures? Nah, let's just say The Pit and the Pendulum. It's part of this series of movies based on the work by Edgar Allan Poe, all directed by Roger Corman and starring Vincent Price. And I love this whole series. I'm still missing one, if you don't count the other one that doesn't star Vincent Price. And you gotta have Vincent Price, of course. This one, The Pit and the Pendulum, is pretty cool. This one, however, I don't know. Daddy Darling. The only reason I bought this was because my girlfriend really liked the cover and the title, of course. But still, we haven't watched it yet. I believe it's like a softcore drama movie. So yeah, that'll make for a great date night. Le Fan Sauvage, or should I say... Well, no, that's the title, since it's a French movie by François Truffaut, of course. I saw this one documentary about feral children a while back where they mentioned this movie, and then I saw it and I was like, awesome. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm pretty curious. Apparently it's, you know, it's pretty good. Next up, After School. One word. I had never seen it, not even really heard of it, but my girlfriend told me to get it because apparently, well, she said it's pretty good. And, you know, I like this guy. What's his name? Ezra Miller. It's supposed to be pretty slow, so I'll have to find the right time to check it out. Still, pretty curious. And here we have Hitchcock. I remember when this was announced, I was pretty curious and excited because it was going to be like a making of Psycho feature film. But from what I understand, it doesn't really focus on that. Still, I read some good things about this one, so I should just check it out one day. In general, I should really just watch some of these movies that I buy. But hey, this one I have seen, and I loved it. Mother. I discovered it last year when I was getting more and more into South Korean cinema, and this one's just awesome. It's a thriller with hints of dark comedy, and it just works really well. I talk about it a little bit more in this one video where I talk about great movies in general, so check that one out too. I'll leave all the links to these videos that I mentioned in the video description, so yeah. Marabito. I don't know how to pronounce this title. I found out about it while going through this list that I found online, you know, about scary Japanese movies. Of course, I haven't seen this one yet, but it looks pretty interesting. Any of you guys seen this one? Thoughts about it? Evil Death Trap 2. I saw the first one and I was very pleasantly surprised by it. It was like a gory exploitation type of horror movie that was just pretty damn cool. So I basically just bought this with the hopes that it's good as well. I have yet to find out. And now finally some stuff that I've actually seen. That's exciting too. Goodbye Uncle Tom. Oh man, what a movie. A semi-documentary, you know, it's sort of like a staged documentary about slavery in the pre-Civil War southern US. And man oh man, while watching this movie you just can't stop thinking like, how did they ever make this movie? But in a weird way, I really like this movie. The American cut it is, I think it's better than the Italian version. And I love the soundtrack, it's so great. Check out part 13 of my disturbing movie series for more on this one. And in that same video, I talk about this one, Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father. And I'm really glad to own this one on DVD because I love this documentary. It's so intense. I can honestly just recommend it to anyone without telling anything about it. Something that I'm doing right now. But if you do want to hear a little bit more about it, again, check out that part 13 video. And yet another documentary, The King of Kong, a fistful of quarters. And this one, this one is just great. It's about the world record Donkey Kong high score title holder and this one guy that claims that he can beat him. It's fun and insightful and exciting. Sometimes it even seems to be too perfect to be a documentary. I talk a bit more about it in that one video where I also talk about Mother, the South Korean movie, not my own. Mallrats by Kevin Smith. And I'm not per se a Kevin Smith fan, nor have I seen a lot of his movies, but I always thought this one was, you know, pretty fun. And I saw it for cheap in the store, so I thought, why not? And apparently a sequel is in the works now. That's pretty cool, I guess. I also saw Tusk by Kevin Smith. That's a question I sometimes get asked. Wasn't a big fan though. Oh yeah, bro, are you ready for the Bromantic comedy collection? How lame is that? But I do like these movies though. The 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up, both written, produced, directed by Judd Apatow, and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which he only produced. But yeah, I never really talk about comedies because, it's hard, you know, humor is so subjective. So yeah, I just bought this at Target. Yeah. The In-Betweeners, the first season that is. It's this British sitcom about 4 teenagers. I just love it so much. The humor is so juvenile. It's basically just these guys calling each other benders all the time, which is this cute British slang for homosexuals. But it's just really, really funny. I've always wondered though, does this series portray UK high school a bit accurate? There must be British teenagers, or you know, like people that were teenagers when the show was on here, like watching my channel, that could tell me this. But first, more fun with David Hess, this time in Hitchhike. Although, I hope it's fun, I haven't seen it yet. But it's a 70s Italian exploitation flick with, well, like I said, David Hess, so that sounds promising. Plus, it usually gets pretty good reviews, so, you know, I'm curious. And here I have Thriller, a cruel picture, a Swedish exploitation flick that's notorious for its actual hardcore porn scenes. But I was too late to realize that I bought the cut version, which removes all of these scenes, so I guess I can still just watch it with my parents. It's been on my watch list literally since I got into exploitation type movies so many years ago. But still, I haven't seen it. What movies do I watch? Oh yeah, that's right. Stuff like LOL and Zapped. I've actually watched these movies. Something else here, it's Trick or Treat, a Halloween-themed anthology horror movie that came out to a lot of praise a couple of years ago. 8 years ago already though. Oh wow. But because of that, I watched it and I was kinda disappointed. Probably because I felt that it was a little overhyped. But thinking back to it now, it was actually just a lot of fun. That's why I bought it, and you know, now I should just give it another shot, right? Huh? Do you guys agree? And finally, this Ilsa box set. How cool is that? I know you could list 4 Ilsa movies in total, but The Wicked Warden, the Jess Franco one, it was never originally intended to be an official Ilsa movie. So this box is still pretty legit, I'd say. Haven't seen the other 2 in this box, but I will one day. Maybe it's a great double feature for date night. I actually enjoyed the original one. It's just such a guilty pleasure. I have this little poster hanging in my TV room, and I sometimes wonder what people that are not familiar with these type of movies, you know, what they think when they see it. Oh well, still I'm pretty happy with this box set. And that's all the movies that I recently added to my collection. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's not like a review, but still. Let me know what you thought also about the movies, especially the ones that I haven't seen yet. And then I'll see you guys next time in an actual horrible reviews video. Cheers.